I just keep trying to wake up, but I'm realizing it actually happened.
Tonight, who killed a young man on the 91 freeway? The shooting left the freeway shut down in rush hour traffic Friday. And that Linwood family wants to know why their beloved son was taken from them.
Was he a victim of road rage? CBS2's Stacey Butler is live right now in Santa Fe Springs at CHP headquarters with more. Stacey?
Jeff and Pat, this case has now been handed over to a special investigations unit with the CHP. As investigators search for the killer, the family is praying for peace.
It's hard to accept that his life was cut short.
Where words fail, this family finds faith.
Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you.
Last Friday, their 27-year-old brother and son was shot to death on the 91 freeway on his way home from the center where he worked serving special needs kids and adults. He was studying to be a speech pathologist and was excited to start his classes this week.
He was just telling me how he was doing well on his papers and he was excelling in school, and we were just proud of him.
Instead, in a terrifying series of gunshots in the middle of rush hour, his life ended. His tight-knit family is devastated. As investigators try to find out if Sam Ferguson was targeted or the victim of road rage, his family says the former college basketball player had no enemies and never got into fights.
He doesn't like to argue or, get into it with anyone. He's more of a, I'll just get out the situation.
Ferguson's parents, who've already had one special needs child of theirs die and another child killed by a drunk driver, say there's only one thing that will get them through another loss.
By the grace of God, He's sustaining us this power.
He gives you that kind of peace. Doesn't make sense, but it's the God kind of peace.
They don't know who would kill their son or why, but they say they don't have to know him to forgive him.
I realize hurting people hurt other people. So he's a hurting man.
Sam Ferguson's sister wants the killer to come forward.
We don't want this same person to be out there and eventually do it to your loved one.
And if you have any information about this case, the CHP would like to hear from you. That's the latest from Santa Fe Springs. Stacey Butler, Pat and Jeff, back to you.
All right, thank you, Stacey. Breaking news now from Canoga Park, an underground vault explosion.
Yeah, this is happening right now at Owensmouth Avenue near Victory. DWP crews are on the scene. Some people are still without power.
An 87-year-old woman is sharing her story tonight. She and her son were saved from their sinking truck after it plunged off the road and into a marina. CBS2's Tom Wade is live in Long Beach with the interview. Tom?
And Pat, the video is absolutely dramatic and stunning. Mary Watkins was one of the two people in that truck. She was parked about right here. That truck kept moving from this parking space through the barrier here and down into the water. A truck plows through a security barrier and into the water at the Long Beach Marina. A frantic scene ensues as an 87-year-old woman, her son, and their dog are still inside the truck as it starts taking on water.
Hurry up, get them out.
Good Samaritans raced into action to rescue the duo. Mary Watkins was the woman you see here being pulled to safety.
He kept going forward, and he said, "My shoe's gone."
Mary says her son was wearing a medical boot, and as they were parking, the boot got stuck on the accelerator.
That fence got closer and closer, and we went right, just like that, we went right straight through it. And I said, "Now what do we do?"
The windows would barely open, and only this thought was in Mary's head.
What do we do now? What happens next? And my son just told me, go out the window. Well, I can swim, and I've owned a boat forever, so that part didn't scare me.
Mary says her son's window would not open at all.
They broke the window on that side and got him out. He's much bigger than I am. The two guys came in the back window, and they got in and shoved me up from the behind side. Well, but it got me straight out and into the little boat, and from the little boat into a bigger dinghy.
And as you could see and hear there, Mary is in very good spirits tonight. She says the rescuers were so incredible, she didn't even get her hair wet. And as you're looking there at the barrier, or what's left of it, well, that was just installed here apparently very recently. And of course, now they're going to have to put that all back in again. But the good news is no one seriously hurt. Reporting live in Long Beach, I'm Tom Waite, CBS 2 News.
Yeah, Tom, thank you. Glad everybody's okay. Well, search tonight for two Hemet children. Police say that they may have been may have been abducted by their parents.
The Riverside County Sheriff's Department says 23-month-old Sione Stevens and 8-month-old Akanisi Stevens were taken from their grandparents' home by their biological parents on Friday.
Their mother, Megan Stevens, and father, Samoy Stevens, lost custody of their children earlier this year. Their grandparents have full custody.
The parents and children were last seen in Venice yesterday in a black 1998 or 1999 Nissan Altima with a Utah license plate. That plate number is UO94T. And if you see them, you are asked to call the Riverside County Sheriff's Department.
Now, to stunning new details tonight, the Colorado murder case that has gripped the nation.
The father is now charged with killing his pregnant wife and their 2 daughters. Crystal Cruz has new revelations from an affidavit. She's here now. Crystal.
Hi, Pat and Jeff. The new details extremely disturbing, and according to the arrest affidavit unsealed tonight, Christopher Watts told his wife Shanann that he wanted a separation when she returned home from a business trip. Well, shortly after, Watts claims he saw something that she did that made him snap. According to the criminal affidavit released late tonight, Chris Watts admitted to police he killed his pregnant wife, Shanann, but denied killing his 2 daughters, Bella and Celeste. Watts told investigators he was having an affair with a co-worker after initially denying it. He said he told his wife he wanted a separation. Watts told investigators he looked on the baby monitor and saw one of his daughters sprawled out and blue and witnessed his wife strangling the other child. He said he went into a rage and ultimately strangled Shanann to death.
This afternoon, my office filed formal charges against Christopher Lee Watts.
Weld County District Attorney Michael Ruark isn't buying it. Watts now faces 9 felony charges, 5 counts of first-degree murder, 3 counts of tampering with a body, and 1 count of unlawful termination of a pregnancy. 34-year-old Shanann Watts and the couple's 2 girls, 4-year-old Bella and 3-year-old Celeste, were reported missing last Monday.
If somebody has her, just please bring her back.
The next day, Watts even talked to local reporters and begged for his family to just come back home.
Mr. Watts, why did you kill your wife and 2 children?
And the 33-year-old was arrested Wednesday. On Thursday, his wife and his children were found dead at an oil field where Watts previously worked. He's expected in court tomorrow for a preliminary hearing. Jeff, back to you.
Crystal, thank you. Well, the controversy surrounding Argento, a prominent Me Too figure, is drawing strong reaction tonight in Hollywood. A New York Times reports the Italian actress paid an accuser $380,000 in a settlement. LA County Sheriff's Department wants to talk to Jimmy Bennett about that report. Bennett, now 22, says he was sexually assaulted by Argento back when he was 17. At an Emmy Awards event tonight, stars spoke out.
I don't want to see anybody being abused for anything.
It's not okay.
Argento's camp has yet to comment.
Only on CBS2, a shock for parents today in Banning. They were told a trusted and respected school dean has been arrested and accused of preying on children. CBS2's Nicole Comstock is live at Nicollet Middle School where the man worked. Nicole?
Yeah, we spoke with 2 worried mothers tonight who told us that before this man was the dean here at Nicollet Middle School, he was a teacher who worked very closely with students in his classroom. And now one of those mothers says she's questioning everything.
Charles Mayer, Dean of Students at Nicollet Middle School, was arrested.
So I stopped listening after lewd acts with a minor.
Elvira Garcia was just sickened learning that her 7th grade son's trusted school administrator, deputies say, tried to meet a 14-year-old boy for sex. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department says on Friday, Dean of Students 55-year-old Charles Mayer left Nicollet Middle School in Banning and drove to a Rancho Cucamonga park where he planned to pick that boy up and take him home to Menifee for the weekend.
Oh my goodness. That's insane.
But deputies say Mayer had actually been communicating with an undercover deputy for 4 or 5 days. He was arrested on site.
It's somebody that he's supposed to trust at school.
Both as a mother and a fellow teacher, Elvira is outraged.
He had taken a real interest in my son.
But perhaps no one is more outraged than Amanda. She asked us not to show her face in order to protect her kids, who she says both spent alone time with him.
My son would eat lunch in his classroom often, just the 2 of them.
Amanda says her 14-year-old son thought Mr. Mayer was his mentor. She says she's terrified now that he had wanted to take advantage of him all along. The Banning Unified School District said in part, Mr. Mayer was immediately placed on administrative leave and is prohibited from entering any district school site or facility. It is not believed that Mr. Mayer's actions involve the district or any students from the district.
All of the encouraging words he gave him, now my son is second guessing those things because of the man that he turned out to be.
The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department says they are concerned that Mayer could have met up with other teenage boys in person. If you have reason to believe that is the case, they need to hear from you. Reporting in Banning, Nicole Comstock, CBS 2 News.
Well, not so fast. Till ahead, Good Samaritans jump in to stop at an Apple store heist. Plus this.
Are you sick and tired of illegal street races and street takeovers? Well, residents and police in the San Fernando Valley are. We'll show you what they're doing about it next in a live report.
I go, oh my God, what do I do next?
And a 2 on your side warning for women getting the new Real ID. How a name change because of marriage or divorce could make the DMV process even more difficult.
Hey everybody, I'm Garth Kemp. Wow, look at that. Busy, busy, busy out by the pier. Coming up, the weather. It's on the way.
And here's a look at the guests tonight on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
CBS2 News is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com.